and welcome to Two Balding Nerds. My name is Kellen,
And my name is George.
and tonight we're going to quickly talk about the new trailer for Moon Knight that just came out. We're going to give our first impressions on what we thought about it.
Indeed, I can say, first of all, I am just as lost as I was before. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was called Moonlight up until I literally could not find it when I was typing that into YouTube to find the trailer. I was so lost.
Yeah, I personally don't know really anything about the character, other than it's kind of like Marvel's sort of like Batman light sort of version.
Yeah, I could not figure out much about the trailer about the character or about what it is. I'd say based off what you just said, it looks like a Batman dressed in white, pretty much. But the character seems to be quite off kilter. So I don't even know what the character's name or anything. Do you know who this guy is and anything about his backstory?
See, I didn't know anything either, and I mean that's kind of I think a failure on Marvel's part, especially if they're wanting to kind of cater to fans like us that are really into the Marvel universe but don't know every single kind of B and C list character. So it kind of would have helped to have an introduction. So what I did is I went onto Wikipedia and I looked him up, and apparently this character's in-universe name is Mark Spector, and he is a former Marine and CIA operative who becomes a mercenary. Um, but the reason why he appears off kilter in the trailer, so it would seem, is again according to Wikipedia, it states that he has dissociative identity disorder, which basically means that he has like multiple personalities.
Oh, okay. Isn't that just multiple personality disorder, like what Two Face and Scarface have in the Batman series?
Yeah, pretty. I think I'm not sure if they're one and the same. I'm not a psychologist, obviously, but I don't know if you've ever seen a movie called Split, directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, no, I kind of avoid most Shyamalan movies personally.
Okay, so anyways, in this movie Split, that has James McAvoy, who's a wonderful actor, he has dissociative identity disorder in that movie. His character does, and I think his character had something like 20 different identities. And it was one of those things, or at least the way they portrayed it in the movie, was that he could kind of flip from one personality to the next. So the the only way I can really describe it was like in No Way Home, Norman Osborn kind of flipping personalities between himself and Green Goblin.
Okay, yeah, that's multiple personality disorder. I think it got renamed to what you just called it,
Yeah.
uh, because for the longest time it wasn't even clear if that was an actual disorder. It was like I don't once again not a psychologist either, but like in the Batman animated series, they made note of the multiple personality disorder, and they have slowly but surely learned more about it since then. So interesting. Yeah, he
Yeah.
definitely looks like he's having a multiple identity crisis going on, at least in the trailers. But I thought it was maybe more of a mystical thing, like maybe he was possessed by an Egyptian mummy or something.
Well, it's funny you actually mentioned an Egyptian mummy. So again, according to this wiki, um, he ends up getting these powers given to him. Um, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but the character's name is Khonshu, and it's the Egyptian moon god, and so he's basically like a holy knight, like given these this ability by this Egyptian god.
Oh, okay. I guess Marvel didn't do too bad at introducing us to him because I literally pulled that out of the ether just because of the way he looked. I was like, it kind of looks like something that would be Egyptian mummy ish.
Well, there was a quick flash where they, in the trailer at least, that they show one of the pyramids. So, um,
Oh, maybe I just didn't think register that.
yeah, there was that, and then there was a scene of him walking up to what looked like a museum, and I think it stated something about an ancient Egyptian exhibit that was currently at the museum. So we'll probably learn about obviously the origin of this character, but it's another one of those series that's 6 episodes long. So uh, I don't know how they're going to cram that much backstory into this series, and kind of have it cohesive. Unless all the episodes end up being like an hour long.
Yeah, I kind of well, they've done they let's face it, they've introduced characters and established them in good movies in just an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if they are given essentially 3 episodes to establish him, and then the other three are just them being awesome, that could work. I'm wondering more so how does this guy fit into the greater Marvel universe in general? Is he going to be anything integral to the multiverse in a way, or is he just going to be random new Marvel character who eventually will meet up with the rest of the Avengers?
I'm thinking more of the latter than the former. I don't. At least I'm not seeing it now. I'm sure we'll kind of see how things unfold in the series, how that's going to happen. Um, but what I'd like to know is what are your first impressions of the trailer? Did it make you excited to watch the show, being that you're somebody like me who doesn't really know anything about the character?
Um, as much as I hate to say it, because I have a lot of respect for the people at Marvel, it like it really didn't do much for me because I kind of found it like I was kind of lost on where what was going on with it. I overall liked the kind of ticking and tenseness to the trailer, but because it kind of did keep on jumping around a little bit, it's like okay, I'm guessing it's supposed to keep me a little bit on edge and off kilter, but it's just a little bit too much. So I was really not following what was going on, other than this guy has some issues and he's going to be a superhero of some sort, or maybe kind of a more of a Punisher, Batman esque superhero, but not really a nice guy.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from the show either. Um, and the trailer didn't really seem to be um, coherent, or it didn't really give me an impression of what's gonna happen in the show. So I'm kind of lost. Um, if I had to guess, I mean, there's one part of the trailer there where he's like beating the crap out of uh, some sort of monsters. So I don't know if
Mhm.
those are deviants, and this is meant to take place sort of along the same sort of time frame as the Eternals, which I know. Have you seen it yet?
Not at this point, but I will be seeing it soon.
Okay.
Go ahead with spoilers at this point. It's my
No,
default
I'm
time.
not. I'm not gonna spoil it. But for those if you haven't watched the Eternals and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's on Disney Plus right now. You can watch it if you have a subscription. So, um, yeah, I don't know what to expect from this show. I'm gonna watch it because I'm at this point I'm morbidly curious about what's gonna happen, and it's one of those things where Marvel they have their hooks in us, and it's basically down to if you don't watch it, you're not gonna understand what's happening, in the movies and everything like that. So out of you know uh, obligation, I'm gonna end up watching the show, whether I find it interesting or not at this point.
Yeah, and also the other one too is I go one of those things where it's like that meme of "shut up and take my money." I go, Marvel has established it now, where it's like, okay, I could probably count on one hand how many Marvel films slash TV shows of the main MCU universe that I've watched and went, that wasn't great. And I literally mean that wasn't great because majority of it is fantastic and amazing. So once in a while, when I sit through something where I go, that was okay, I'm more than happy to give their properties every chance in the world just to see what it's like and be like, okay, if this one wasn't the greatest thing in the world, especially when, as you say, if you have a Disney Plus subscription already, you already got all the stuff you're watching. It's like, I can spend 3, 4, or 5 hours of my life just sitting down watching a show for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the saving grace, at least to a 6 episode story arc, is that at least it's not that much of an investment time wise. Like, if you don't like it, like you said, it's only 4 or 5 hours compared to like if you watched a TV show and it was like 15 episodes and the whole season just kind of sucked. Um, but just real quick, I wanted to touch on something that's on the wiki page here, and it references his abilities and stuff like that. And tell me who you think this sounds like. It says, "quote In most stories, Moon Knight has no supernatural abilities beyond occasional visions of mystical insight. He relies on athletic ability, intelligence, advanced technology, and expert combat skills. Since becoming Moon Knight, There have been multiple occasions when Mark Spector has died, only to then be resurrected by Khonshu. Although how many times he may be resurrected is unknown, for a time, Moon Knight's strength and resiliency to injury could reach superhuman levels depending on phases of the moon, but his ability later vanished.
Definitely sounds like She-Hulk.
Really?
No, it sounds like Batman.
Sounds like Batman mixed with a little bit of Gandalf. The whole dying multiple times only to be resurrected. Like, hey, your story's not finished. Go back.
Yeah, exactly. I actually wouldn't have made the Gandalf preference, other than the fact that he is dressed in white.
That's true.
But yeah, no, that sounds a lot like Batman with a few extra powers. But overall, nothing too out of the norm of DC pulling something out of one's rear end to be like, or even Marvel for this sake of being like, we killed the character, but they're coming back.
Always with the fake deaths. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. That's our first impressions of the trailer. I think George and I are going to watch this one, but I wouldn't say it knocked us off our feet. Eh?
Yeah, no. Actually, one quick little thing before we go.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, was there any reference to any other Marvel characters? Because I'm not sure if they've done a TV show yet where they didn't have other characters of the Marvel universe at least be brought in to help new people come in, or have all the TV shows so far been already established characters, if I recall?
From that trailer, I didn't see any previously established characters, so either that's something they're saving for the TV show as kind of like a, you know, like a surprise. But yeah, I didn't see anything, and I didn't hear any references to any other characters or any other events that have happened in the MCU. So we'll have to see how this kind of, uh, figures into the puzzle, so to speak.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. So, with that being said, thanks for tuning in to our first impression video for the Moon Knight TV series first trailer. And yeah, we look forward to it coming out. It's coming out on March 30th, which is our my co host, George. It's his birthday. So, a little bit of a birthday treat for him.
Interesting, indeed.
Yeah. So, until next time, folks, have a good time, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.